The main event, UFC welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena defends his belt for the first time when he takes on former UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev.
Dana White has finally announced the much-awaited clash between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della. Dana confirmed that UFC 322 is set for November 15 in New York, with welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena putting his belt on the line for the very first time against former lightweight king Islam Makhachev. White noted that Makhachev, who dominated the lightweight division for years and held the top pound-for-pound spot, has decided to move up in weight after a 15-fight winning streak. Now chasing history as a two-division champion, he faces Maddalena in what Dana described as a true super fight.
I'm announcing our return to New York City as UFC 322 takes place on Saturday, November 15th. The main event, UFC welterweight champion Jack Della Maddalena defends his belt for the first time when he takes on former UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev. Makhachev was #1 ranked pound-for-pound fighter in the world in 23, 24, and 25. Cleaned out that division, and he has decided to take his 15-fight win streak and move up to attempt to become one of a few fighters in UFC history to win belts in two different divisions. This is literally the definition of a super fight.
Islam Makhachev's manager, Ali Abdelaziz, was already confident that the fight with Jack Della Maddalena is finalized and will happen later this year. He explained that while it's up to the UFC to make the official announcement, he's certain Australia will lose its champion by year's end. Abdelaziz acknowledged Maddalena as a tough opponent, but maintained that Islam has all the skills needed to handle him.
Hey, just speaking of Islam, are we any closer to getting an update on this fight happening in November? Like, from everything that you're working on right now, is that still the likely time frame for this JDM fight, Madison Square Garden?
Listen, at the end of the day, the fight is done, but like I always respectful to the promotion. It is their job. They didn't announce the fight. But I know this, by end of the year, Australia gonna have no champions. I think Volker will remain the champion. I think Maddalena will lose. And I have a lot of respect for Maddalena. I think he's a very nice guy. I think he's a great fighter. I think, he's gonna be a very tough fight for Islam. But I believe Islam have all the tools to beat him. But in reality, it's a fight. It's a game of inches. Anything can happen.
Jack Della Maddalena's coach also expressed full confidence ahead of UFC 322, stating that Islam Makhachev won't be able to handle Jack's power. He explained that unlike Bilal Muhammad, Islam doesn't have the same chin, and if Jack lands clean, it could end instantly, whether in the opening minute or late in the fight. He added that Jack's cardio and power make him dangerous at any point.
I just don't think Islam has the chin that Bilal has.
You feel like it's a situation where this is going to be an eventual down the line, like third, fourth round, or do you think people might even be shocked to see it happen earlier on?
We know for a fact if Jack clips someone clean on the chin, they can go over. So it could happen in the first minute, it could happen in the 24th minute, it could happen in the 24-minute 59 seconds, it could happen 3 rounds in. Jack likes long fights, he likes to be in there, but obviously we're not getting paid for overtime, so if the opportunity arises, we're happy to take it. But Jack's cardio, as we saw, Bilal's reputedly the best cardio in the UFC, and Jack out cardioed him. Bilal was more tired than Jack towards the end of the fight. So Jack's cardio is exceptional, his power is exceptional, and yeah, I like the fight, I really do.
Khabib Nurmagomedov said that he still views Jack Della Maddalena as the toughest challenge of Islam Makhachev's career. He explained that he has followed JDM for a long time and considers him a very skilled and dangerous striker with sharp technique. Khabib also noted that Maddalena has already beaten several top wrestlers and managed those tests impressively.
Бой Ислам Макхачев против Маддалены. От тебя прозвучало о том, что это будет самый тяжелый бой в карьере Ислама. Почему?
Мы не можем сразу все карты раскрывать, потому что наши соперники тоже нас слушают. Но скажу так, что я давно слежу за Маддаленой. Он как боец очень интересный. Тогда, конечно, у меня даже в голове не было насчет боя Ислама и Маддалены. Но судя по его скиллам, по его технике, по его ударке, судя по тому, как он защищается против борцов, а он дрался с борцами. Рамазан хорошо борется, Гилберт Бёрнс хорошо борется.
Khabib Nurmagomedov said Jack Della Maddalena has already proven himself by defeating fighters with long reach, strong wrestling, heavy striking, and physical toughness. He highlighted that JDM is 9-0 in the UFC and trains with the same team that prepared Alexander Volkanovski to face Islam. Taking all of this into account, Khabib described him as a very dangerous opponent.
Ребята, у кого длинные рычаги, тот же Холланд. Ну, то есть он дрался и с борцами, и с ударниками, и с физически крепкими ребятами. Он такой, знаешь, проверку прошел, 9-0 UFC чемпион. У него та команда, которая готовила Волконовского на Ислама. Вот это все вместе, если сопоставить, я вижу в нем очень грозного соперника.
Khabib Nurmagomedov also broke down the welterweight division ahead of Islam Makhachev's debut. He viewed Shavkat Rakhmonov as the biggest threat, while Bilal Muhammad and Jack Della Maddalena were also seen as serious challenges. However, he did not see Ian Gary or Sean Brady as major dangers, saying Islam would outstrike and dominate them without much trouble.
Вот теперь скажи, ну, не будем за спину смотреть Мадалена, но если бы не было Мадалены, то как дальше выглядит ситуация в 77? Кто может оказаться напротив Ислама в клетке? И там два слова о каждом из них.
Я вижу 77 Шавката как соперника, да, вот, вызывающего уважение, во-первых, во-вторых, опасения. Шавкат, Билял, ну, Ян Герри я бы не считал бы таким грозным соперником. Шавкат, Билял, даже еще один мало. Ну, Шон Брэди я не вижу. Стилистически слишком удобный. Ислам его в стойке перебьет, бороться он, но у Ислама в ноге останется. Ну, не вижу Шон Брэди такого грозного соперника. Ну, он, конечно, крепкий, хороший боец, но не вижу. Шавкат и Билял.
Islam Makhachev responded to Khabib's comments by agreeing that Jack Della Maddalena would be his toughest opponent so far. When asked if JDM is a bigger challenge than names like Volkanovski or Poirier, he admitted that the size difference could play a role, but brushed off any doubts. Islam recognized that JDM is dangerous when given striking space, but promised to drag him into deep waters, exhaust him, and dominate with his signature control.
Khabib сказал, что твой бой с Маддаленой будет очень сложным. А ты видишь, в чем Мадалена превосходит твоих прошлых соперников, например, Волконовский или Порье?
Весом, наверное. Ну, не знаю. Знаешь, как зависит. Если, например, даже вот сейчас про Чимаева бой говорили, если он дал бы ему поработать, то это был бы конкурентный бой. И также и у меня, и у всех. Если дать работать, например, в стойке Маддалене, он может показать хороший бой. Не секрет. Я собираюсь его переводить, я собираюсь его контролировать, заставлять его устать, навязывать свой стиль боя.
Islam Makhachev broke down why Khabib views Jack Della Maddalena as his hardest challenge, saying it has everything to do with moving up a division. He explained that fighting at 170 pounds requires adjusting to bigger training partners, new preparation methods, and obstacles they've never faced before, which is why Khabib considers JDM such a serious threat.
Почему Хабиб так говорит? Потому что это для нас какой-то новый шаг, новый вес. Перепрыгивать. Ну, мы так не делали раньше, чтобы с нижнего веса наверх перепрыгивать, потому что по-любому уже другая подготовка, спарринг, партнеры другие, много чего приходится менять сейчас. И это все так по ходу без какого-либо опыта.
Islam Makhachev also admits that his focus is on making history by becoming a two-division champion. He explained that while winning one belt is already a big achievement, only a handful of fighters have ever ruled two weight classes. For him, this is the ultimate challenge, and he's determined to secure his place among the few who have reached double champ status.
Can you just clarify, like, did they make you give up the lightweight title?
The General Shahuna and everybody?
Yeah, like the
of
UFC.
course, this is the dream, man. This is the dream for the all champions. And like we know many champions, but not is the from them like double. You know, that's why everybody want to be double champ. Everybody want to be UFC champ, but we don't have many people who have two belts. That's why. I want to be one of them, you know.
Daniel Cormier also shared his thoughts on the upcoming welterweight title fight, describing it as one of the most exciting matchups in the sport. He pointed out that Islam Makhachev is stepping into unfamiliar territory, leaving behind the lightweight division where he dominated. Now, Islam has the opportunity to prove himself once again by testing his skills against bigger competition at 170. Daniel Cormier said, "Now we have a date for one of the biggest super fights in the sport. Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, headlining the biggest arena in the world. This is a different kind of challenge for Islam at 170 pounds. Since that first bout, it's been a dominant performance after dominant performance. Now, he gets the chance to become a two-division champion, and for Jack Della Maddalena, this is his moment to rise, to face one of the best fighters on the planet, a guy with a massive name and an even bigger following." Leon Edwards weighed in on Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, saying it's a hard fight to predict. He acknowledged JDM's size and scrambling ability, but wondered if Islam's move up to welterweight would be enough to handle the challenge, adding that only time will tell.
What's your prediction for JDM and
Islam?
Makhachev?
I don't know. It's hard to. I don't know. I think JDM is good scrambler. He's a bigger guy. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Is Islam big enough? Is he going to be able to?
Let's see.
Carlos Prates and Henry Cejudo shared their thoughts on whether Islam Makhachev's style could trouble Jack Della Maddalena. Prates admitted he originally thought Jack would struggle after his injury and long layoff, expecting him to only edge out close decisions. But he was impressed by Jack's growth and the new level he has reached. Cejudo added that Islam is a completely different test, with top control and constant pressure far beyond anything Jack has faced before.
I was thinking Jack Della Maddalena would lose. He got injury, and I was like almost 2 years without fight.
Yeah.
And then he come to different level, bro. He was like gonna be a board fight by points and things like that. But bro, what he did was really good work. He grew up a lot.
Yeah, but
he come a different level.
Yeah, but Islam is a different animal. If there's one thing that I could say in that fight, Islam Makhachev, he gets on top of you.
Yeah.
He's a blanket, bro. The top control that Islam has in comparison to Bilal is completely different.
Yoel Romero also weighed in on the welterweight picture, viewing Jack Della Maddalena as a serious danger to Islam Makhachev. He highlighted Jack's combination of cardio, sharp striking, and overlooked wrestling as key weapons at 170. Romero emphasized that Jack's size and physical strength make him a tough matchup for anyone, describing a fight with Islam as a true 50-50 contest.
What about Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, who is a new champion in welterweight division?
It's hard because Maddalena have a very good cardio, very good puncher. Yeah. He's not bad wrestling too. It's a 50-50.
50-50, but Jack has not that high takedown defense. You know,
but punch it. He have a very hard punches.
And he will be more powerful than Islam, right? Or
that's it. Exactly.
Because of the weight difference, right?
Yes.
Or Islam is too big for...
No. That guy, Maddalena, is big. For 170, he's big. He's big.
Max Holloway also gave his take on a potential welterweight clash between Islam Makhachev and Jack Della Maddalena. He acknowledged Islam's complete skill set, but cautioned against overlooking Jack, praising him as one of the best in the division. Holloway noted that many fans underestimate Jack just like they once underestimated him, and stressed that while Islam deserves his pound-for-pound recognition, this matchup promises to be both challenging and entertaining.
I think he'd be fine, man. I think he'd be good, you know, but people be sleeping on Jack, you know what I mean? And I think Jack is one of the best fighters in the world right now, and I think people is gonna find out when that match happens. I don't know. I'm hearing rumors maybe October. I think it's gonna be a fun fight, smart fight, but a lot of people counting out Jack for I don't know what reason. They just keep counting him out. Kind of reminds me of when I was like coming up and counting me out about certain fights. So I mean, he is, you know, he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world right now, but he's the number 2 pound for pound in the world for a reason. So you gotta respect that, but. You know, don't sleep on Jack. I think it's going to be a tough and fun fight.
Chael Sonnen shared his excitement for Islam Makhachev's upcoming fight in New York against Jack Della Maddalena. He felt that many people were overlooking how close and competitive the matchup could be. According to Chael, Islam often gets the spotlight as one of the biggest Muslim athletes in the sport, but in this case, it was Jack who carried less pressure while Islam faced more doubt. He pointed out how unusual it was to see the champion being questioned more than the challenger.
Islam is headed to Madison Square Garden
to fight Jack Della Maddalena, according to Khabib.
We have deal with them. He's gonna fight in Madison Square Garden, and they say yes.
It's a lot closer match than you think it is. We understand Islam. He's the most famous Muslim athlete in the world. He's going for basically a history maker. We don't question him. Jack is the one being questioned. How in the hell are you gonna question the guy with the belt?
Meanwhile, rumors are shut down about a potential fight between Ilia Topuria and Justin Gaethje at UFC 322, since Islam versus JDM is already confirmed for the card. However, Ilia's manager recently added fuel to the speculation by posting a hint that a matchup between Ilia and Justin could still happen at the same event. However, Chael Sonnen says a fight between Ilia Topuria and Paddy Pimblett would currently be a bigger event than a clash with Islam Makhachev. He explains that while Islam versus Ilia could eventually become massive with the right build-up, right now it doesn't carry the hype people expect. Sonnen argues that Topuria versus Pimblett would actually attract more attention and sell better because of Paddy's star power. He adds that if Islam is holding the welterweight title, then the conversation could shift.
Islam and Ilia is not this massive fight that people are trying to make believe it is. It could, with a little bit of time. I'm just sharing for you. Those guys are a little bit too close to the trees to see the forest. Ilia Topuria versus Paddy the Baddy does a bigger gate than Ilia Topuria versus Islam right now. You put a belt around Islam, maybe we're having a different conversation.
On the other hand, Ilia Topuria also showed interest in facing the winner of Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena, saying he believes Jack would be a good fight too. He admitted Jack is a big guy and gave him respect, noting that Khabib had even said Jack might be a tougher matchup for Islam. Ilia explained that of course, Khabib would hype the fight in front of them, since no one is going to say their opponent is easier. He added that he respects all fighters chasing their dreams, but when it comes down to competition, he always bets on himself.
Jack is, like, he's a big guy too, right?
That fight would be great also.
You versus Jack?
Yeah, I would love to fight him.
I saw Khabib said that he thinks that Jack is a harder fighter for Islam than you.
What he's gonna say, that's the fight they have ahead. They're not gonna say, no, we are fighting a easier opponent than Ilia. He has to say that. There's always respect. Of course. How you cannot respect, like, people who's fighting for their dreams and they work hard. But another thing is that when it comes to the competition, me against you, I'm always gonna choose myself.
Jack Della Maddalena's coach even warned Ilia Topuria to go back to featherweight rather than moving up to face Jack. He said Ilia is his height and called himself a midget, stressing that it would be a very bad decision for Ilia to step up. According to him, Ilia and Jack are essentially the same type of fighters, but Jack is simply the bigger version.
Got Ilia Topuria, the lightweight champ. He's been trying to get up to he wants to go up to welterweight, fight for that belt as well. What's your reaction? Like, he wants one more title defense, then he wants to basically move up and fight at welterweight. What would your reaction be if he was one of the next guys for you?
He's my height, and I'm a midget. He needs to stay where he is. It would be a very bad decision for him to come up and fight Jack. They're the same fighter, essentially. He's just a midget and Jack's a bit bigger, you know. They do a lot of the same things very well, and I love Ilia. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch because I think he fights like Jack, you know. They're very similar. So, but I don't think he has any business jumping up 2 weight classes and fighting Jack. But that's up to him. If he wants to do that, fair play to him. I respect it, you know. And I think Ilia's going to be at a point like Islam soon where he can do whatever he wants, because he's unstoppable, you know.
However, Arman Tsarukyan revealed that he wants to fight in October or November and has already discussed opponents with Dana White. He said the UFC is considering matchups in Abu Dhabi or Qatar with names like Justin Gaethje, Dan Hooker, and Paddy Pimblett in the mix. Tsarukyan admitted he doesn't like Paddy, but made it clear for a faster path to the title, Paddy is his #1 choice.
Хочет вернуться в январе-феврале. А я уже давно не дрался, и я думаю, что мне нужно будет подраться в октябре-ноябре. И я разговаривал с боссами вчера. Они сказали, что, может быть, организуют бой с кем-нибудь.
В Абу-Даби?
В Абу-Даби, либо в Катаре.
Блин, это очень круто было бы.
Либо в Катаре.
В Катаре хотят?
Да, в Катаре тоже сказал. Может быть, Гейджи, может быть, Хукер, может быть, Пэдди.
Слушай, а ты кого сам бы предпочел бы из этого списка?
Пэдди.
Пэдди? Но Пэдди нацелен на Илью тоже, как и ты.
Выход на Илью можно через этот бой. Да, аккуратно выйти топором нахватировать, идти дальше.
So, this is all we have from today's video, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts in the comment section and subscribe to our channel to get more updates about the upcoming UFC encounters.